Dalavina guia dolosana angito talita kini ana warong ng Bula FM e Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na adang ko tevita utu ngoi 90 ando talita ka wale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Na adang ko makilesi wer kraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Gatambo ando talita na warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM number 2 ana sir.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Tonight, ration distribution to worst affected communities may continue for up to 6 months. Agricultural exports expected to drop due to cyclone damage, and seedling distribution begins in Northern Division. Prime Minister Vorengeng Bainimarama continues to visit areas affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston and will do so for the next 6 months. He was at the Vunindawa Sanatan Primary School in Natavuni Catholic School in Naitasiri yesterday, promising repair at the earliest. Akusita Tale reports.
Naitavuni Catholic School sits on a hill in Wainimala in the interior of Naitasiri with more than 90 students. Tropical Cyclone Winston took with it an entire classroom block, and 14-year-old Andres Sunika remembers it all.
When
the strong winds came, it blew away 3 of our classrooms. It flew away and landed on the other side of the Wenimala River. It also blew one of the teachers' quarters, and power lines were everywhere.
93 students have been affected in Naitavuni Catholic School here in Waindina, Naitasiri, and as you can see, these other foundations that Tropical Cyclone Winston has left behind. Prime Minister Vorengeng Bainimarama has assured the affected children that help is on its way.
We should get local contractors to rebuild the damages in schools. We should not wait for the others because we already know what repairs need to be done here. If the school management can come up with a design that's needed for the school and give it to us, then we can get in a contractor and give them the tender to do the work.
Some of the classes have moved to 3 teachers' quarters. The Prime Minister also visited Vunindawa Sanatan Primary School, distributing school bags, books and other stationery. 4 classrooms were partially damaged and the school has been promised building materials for repair. Akusita Talei, FBC News.
President Chiochi Konrote visited the village of Lavena on the island of Taviuni yesterday. He was accompanied by government officials, RFMF Commander William Poto and UNDP Representative Osnat Lubrani. Ellen Stalls has more.
Upon arriving on Taviuni by helicopter, President Chiochi Konrote was greeted by a DISMAC team on the ground. After a short briefing, the President visited Lavena village.
The Australian Defence Ship, which is currently on the island of Koro, will be coming here to assist you all as well. I'm sorry to see such devastation has come to your village.
The Garden Island, like Koro and others, was badly hit by Tropical Cyclone Winston. The President took some time to speak to villagers, reassuring them that help will come soon. This is what is left of Lavena Primary School. It has no roof, and students are now studying under a tarpaulin held up by wooden beams. Principal Singarara Maisamwa says there are no classes when it rains.
We are very happy that government officials are around with him, so that they actually come and see what is happening to our school. And at this moment in time, we are using temporary tent for to have a class, and hopefully in a few weeks' time that we are going to receive assistance in the maintenance or the repair of our classroom.
The President was shown homes lying in ruins, Roofs were blown away and children studying under a tent. All the result of the devastation left behind in Lavena village. It will be months before villages like these are able to get back on their feet and to some form of normalcy. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Trade Minister Fayaz Koya says there will be effects on exports from damage sustained by the agriculture sector. Initial estimates are that $120 million worth of agricultural commodity has been lost. Koya says it's fortunate that Singatoka, which is the hub of the farming sector, was largely spared by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Koya says the Minister for Agriculture is working hard to get vital commodities back on track.
He's doing his best to get it back up to speed. It will affect us a little bit, but there are other areas that we're looking to make sure that impact is cushioned. There are some things that we might need to start importing also, especially because of the tourism sector. But again, this comes back to if there is a dip somewhere, we're going to look at tourism industry, especially to bring in the dollars as much as we can to keep us propped up.
Some of the lost produce includes kava, ndalo and sugarcane. More than $9 million worth of food rations have been delivered to affected communities. This has been confirmed by National Disaster Management Office Director Kapusitui Fangalele. There are currently 196 evacuation centres in the Western Division with 6,876 evacuees. The Northern Division has 1,230 evacuees in 26 evacuation centres. He has also confirmed 9,133 homes were fully destroyed. 15,771 were damaged, bringing a total of 24,904 homes affected so far due, and these figures are expected to further increase. Tuifangalele confirms the death toll still stands at 43. Still to come on FBC News, LTA goes after impersonators pretending to sell public service vehicle permits.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rugby Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavo Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Ministry for Agriculture officials in the West say the increased prices of vegetables and root crops in Singatoka and parts of Lautoka and Nandi is unjustified. Over the past few days, they have found no ground for high prices. Madhum Bolaitamana with this exclusive story.
Farmers and vendors at the Singatoka market says the increased prices of vegetables and root crops in the last 3 weeks is due to the devastation caused by Tropical Cyclone Winston.
Because the Hurricane Winston damaged some of the farmers in the valley, that's why they increase the vegetable price, like long bean, eggplant is $70 one bag.
However, the Ministry for Agriculture in the West says the markup in prices is a real concern for authorities since there is no evidence of widespread devastation on the ground. FBC visited the Salad Bowl of Fiji today, and it was evident that the upper reaches of the Nanronga and Navosa province remain unscathed from the effects of Tropical Cyclone Winston.
Most of our farm has been some in near by the river. We all damaged the vegetables. Only upper areas are survived, but that's all damaged. So the lack of vegetable in our side.
The farmers are adamant their concerns are genuine, claiming that it will take another 3 months to normalize prices of vegetables in the market.
It's $2 kilo ginger, and tomatoes is $7 or $8 kilo.
How long do you think this will continue until it's back to normal?
I don't know.
Meanwhile, vendors have welcomed the government's decision to suspend market fees for the time being. Madhum Bolaitamana, FBC News.
We now cross live to Madhum Bolaitamana in Nandi. Madhu, can you tell us more about what you saw when you visited these large-scale farms in Singatoka?
Jackie, the pictures tell a different story from what the farmers are saying. And this is what the Ministry of Agriculture officials in the West are also talking about. That the Singotoka Valley and pockets in Nandi and Lautoka have been unscathed in the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Winston, but the prices of vegetables and root crops in the local markets reflect a different story. The officials have also been visiting markets and talking to farmers and vendors, doing their own investigations. There are talks of regulating the market, but that is another project in itself. But let's hope that with the government taking away market fees, that consumers will at least feel the load off their backs when shopping for fresh vegetables and crops. Jackie.
Let's hope for that. Thanks so much for that update, Matthew. The Ministry of Agriculture has begun distributing seedlings and cuttings for short-term vegetables and root crops for farms and villages badly affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston in the Northern Division. Eleanor Torangaiviu accompanied a distribution team to Kumbulau in Boa yesterday and files this report.
Severe tropical cyclone Winston left little to nothing in their farms. Kiombo villages now have to start from scratch again. Village headman Wilimone Lingana says the 25 farmers in the village are struggling to get their farms back in order.
We are now feeling the effects of the cyclone. We have been left with almost nothing. Now we are looking to put our farms together so we can feed our families.
Thanks to the Agriculture Ministry, these farmers are being given seedlings of various short-term vegetables and kumala cuttings to plant in their backyard.
These assistance are distributed by households. So we are starting off with the first phase of 30 cuttings of kumala. With each of these assorted vegetables are given one packet each. It's a first phase. We're still awaiting supply of other vegetables from our headquarters in Suva.
Like the many villages in the Kumbulau district, villagers of Kiombo live off their land. And the timely distribution of seedlings from the Ministry of Agriculture today will go a long way in helping them sustain their food stock.
We are estimating that this combination of these food crops will enable to sustain an average of 4 to 6 household members within from June, when we end with the food ration in May, to December, and can go as first quarter in 2017.
The village women were also shown how to plant the vegetables and how to maintain the vegetable beds.
We are happy and thankful for the distribution of seedlings for all the families after the devastating effect of Cyclone Winston on the farms.
The distribution of seedlings and cuttings will continue until the end of next week. Eleanor Torangaiviu, FBC News.
Communities located in the Maritime Islands that have been severely affected by the recent cyclone will receive timely assistance from the United Nations Development Fund. $100,000 worth of rehabilitation tools will be dispatched to Vanombalavo and the Lau Group Islands in the Lomaiviti Group, Koro Island and Batiki. Ellen Stalls has the story.
Permanent Secretary Disaster Management Meleti Mbainimarama says the items will assist people to get more work done.
Because it is very practical at this time to start to rehabilitate the villages. As you can see, we've got wheelbarrows, we've got gumboots, we've got brush cutters, chainsaws, things that will make them start to stand up and start to clean before they go out and go to the second phase of rehabilitation, which is rebuilding the homes.
Mbainimarama says it's disappointing to note that some people have been selling food rations, while others who can support themselves are also taking rations which can go to the needy.
The commissions are now being informed by the National Disaster Management Office to properly investigate with the help of the police, to investigate all these cases of people selling rations. But as I said, it's a rather unfortunate incident because people are gaining from the hardship of other people.
UNDP Deputy Resident Representative Akiko Fuji says the assistance donated today is part of the UNDP Flash Appeal framework, which is a phase that deals with humanitarian assistance.
We have been having existing ongoing programs with the line ministries and particularly with Ministry of Agriculture. We have been having ongoing program supporting the ministry and the communities in the food security as well as the governance aspect of the disaster risk management and the response.
The distribution of tools to the various islands will be handled by Commissioner Easton. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
The French government continues to assist Fiji in the wake of Cyclone Winston. French aircraft wrapped up their mission today, but a Navy patrol boat arrived in Suva last night to help rebuild homes and schools. Maggie Boyle reports.
Sailing in from New Caledonia, this patrol boat has brought more than 2 tons of humanitarian supplies. French ambassador to Fiji, Michel Djokovic, says this assistance also includes 14 army engineers with building materials.
So we will help with these tarpaulins and hygienic kits for families which are on board. We will help for these families to go back to their usual places, and I hope they will rebuild their houses.
While humanitarian assistance is priority, the French will also be helping get critical infrastructure back up and running in the Lao group.
They will go first to Lakemba because the meteorological station is out of order, and together with a meteorologic specialist from the Fijian agency, they will work on it, and they will rehabilitate this meteorological station.
The patrol boat will also travel to Vikombia and Tuvudar and assist villagers rebuild their homes. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Pride has decided that no criminal charges will be filed against the former Assistant Commissioner Henry Brown. The decision was made based on a review of the police files. Pride confirmed receiving 3 files from police regarding former ACP Henry Brown alleging abuse of office in 3 separate matters. He says following the review of each of the 3 files, they have advised police that there is insufficient evidence to proceed. Pride says any issues concerning possible breaches of police procedures are to be decided by the police commissioner. The Land Transport Authority has filed a report against people impersonating LTA staff offering public service vehicle permits. Chief Executive Naisatui Nadeva says people must remember that LTA services are confined to its offices around Fiji. Savara Tumbua has more details.
2 people have already paid $16,000 to impersonators who promised them public service vehicle permits. Land Transport Authority Chief Executive Naisatui Nadeva says this is baffling because there's been a freeze-on PSV permits for 5 years.
In that kind of case where somebody just called to say that we can give you a permit, you need to give money, if they can, take a bit of time and ask questions and straight away report this to police or FICAC or to the Land Transport Authority, because we don't work that way.
Police Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tunravu says they will prosecute anyone found to be fooling people on the pretext of selling public service permits.
Impersonation is an offence, and we will investigate should the report has been lodged in any of our police stations. It is very serious, and I can confirm that once the report has been lodged by the Land Transport Authority, we'll surely investigate the report.
The LTA stopped issuing permits for minibuses and taxis in 2011. A review for procedures and policies surrounding PSV permits is currently underway. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie with all the very latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up in sports, Nandranga and Nandi rugby sides to face off in fundraising match. And a portion of sales at Vancouver Sevens to be donated to Fiji. Details after the break.
मैं हूं रेहान खान गुरबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल एग्रेट है करवो में, उसी तरह मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है करवो में।
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची FM को लॉक कर दिया जाए। मिर्ची FM इट्स हॉट।
हम नकाशी से साइमान है, हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है।
माय नेम इज दिनेश, हम नेंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में, और मिर्ची FM इज हॉट, आई लाइक इट।
मिर्ची FM।
Spectators at the inaugural Vancouver Sevens will not only get to watch world-class rugby, but also lend a hand to those affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. The Canadian Parliament this week announced that a portion of every sale of a program during the tournament will be given to Fiji. Rohit Deo tells us more.
Had some difficult days. Their form hasn't always been the greatest.
The devastation by TC Winston last month has not gone unseen by the rugby world, and that was quite obvious at the last tournament in Las Vegas. The Canadians have jumped on the helping bandwagon.
And through it all.
And during the International Rugby Sevens tournament being held in Vancouver later this week, Rugby Canada will be donating $2 from every program sold in aid in the disaster relief operation currently underway in Fiji.
That's more than $3 Fijian from every sale, and Hamel adds the communities in Canada want to help Fiji. And with over 50,000 fans expected to converge at the tournament, this did is sure to succeed.
With aid starting to pour in from nations around the world, at the local level, the large Fijian population in BC have banded together to collect supplies and funds to send to the many Fijians left with nothing.
Meanwhile, the Vancouver Sevens starts this Sunday, with Fiji playing their first match against Samoa at 6:14 a.m. You can watch the entire tournament live right here on FBC TV. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Nandrunga and Nandi rugby unions will hold a fundraising match to aid relief efforts for people affected by severe tropical cyclone Winston. Josephine Navula has the details.
The champion Nandrunga side will be kick-starting its pre-season build-up match this weekend, but this time it's for a worthy cause.
This came in time when we normally organize for our warm-up game, our pre-season games with Nandi, and it's only proper that we try and contribute towards the victims of Cyclone Winston, and through this pre-season match we gain through match game time and match experience.
Nandrunga Rugby President Tiko Matawalu says both rugby unions are willing to pitch in for the victims that have suffered due to the cyclone.
It will be reasonable and reasonable enough to be able to meet the costs involved in terms of facility hire, and there will also be surplus amount that can be diverted towards our assistance. So yes, we understand that we are going through these hard times. We are not.
Admission fees are yet to be finalized, but is expected to be low enough to ensure a high turnout.
We'll be expecting a good crowd and a good turnout, and for that we are expecting a very good amount that can be collected towards this assistance.
The first fundraising match will be held at 11 a.m. this Saturday at Prince Charles Park in Nandi, and second round next week in Lawanga Park, Singatoka. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Veteran Australian Rugby League mentor Michael Potter has been appointed as the new Vodafone Fiji Mbati coach. Fiji National Rugby League today confirmed Potter to step into the role left vacant by Rick Stone. Talin Dadakadaka reports.
2 months away from the Pacific Test rematch against Papua New Guinea, Michael Potter, currently the assistant coach of the Newcastle Knights in Australia, will now take over the helm.
With his experience, having 16 years experience at NRL level, and currently being the assistant coach for the Newcastle Knights, that's really something that Michael is bringing into the Fiji Mbati team.
Although his appointment comes through FNRL, the Fiji National Sports Commission will be responsible for his salary under the Overseas Coaches Grant.
This year we were also interested in exploring other coaches, but he came out to be still the best to take Fiji this year. So we are going to offer him a 1-year contract.
The FNRL is yet to confirm Potter's start date. Silent Odakadaka, FBC Sports.
Necessary precautions are being undertaken to ensure the safety of the Team Fiji contingent to the Rio Olympics. Fasanok says a local medical commission is already in place to monitor the situation in Brazil and is working in collaboration with the International Olympic Committee.
On the advisory, we will go according to the advisory and ensure that everybody take the advice seriously before they go to the Olympics. I know it's a serious matter, but I think from the advisory that I have received so far, the International Olympic Committee have it under control. But for us, locally, we're looking at our own local doctors who will be accompanying us to the Games.
Now, this commission was formed in light of the recent Zika outbreak in Brazil. The Rio Olympics will be held in August. So far, only the Fiji men's and women's 7 sides and Fiji under-23 football team have qualified. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Attorney General Ayasai Kayum says this is not the time for greed or taking advantage of the vulnerable. There have been numerous reports of businesses raising prices. The latest is a hardware trader in Tavua who was selling a $6 item for $20. In another incident, a business owner in Field 40 Lautoka, who while being issued a spot fine, assaulted Commerce Commission staff.
We'd like to say to all businesses that please keep your margins reasonable, keep your margins low. This is a time that we need to be able to get the economy back on track, and the way that you can do that is to increase economic activity. When you increase economic activity, you are able to then get more people employed, get more people back on their normal day-to-day living.
Businesses around Fiji are being monitored for unfair practices, and fines will be issued accordingly. Fine weather prevailed over the country again today. Temperatures soared to 30 degrees in all centres. Mombasa was the highest at 34, followed by Lautoka and Bound 33. Nandi was on 32, Suva 31 and Sabu Sabu at 30. Tomorrow's forecast is for afternoon and evening showers over most places. And the further outlook out for the weekend, expect some showers over most parts of the country, moderate seas. And recapping the main stories for tonight, ration distribution to worst affected communities may continue for up to 6 months. Agricultural exports expected to drop due to cyclone damage. And seedling distribution begins in Northern Division. For these and other stories, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. And now to our weekly poll question. We are asking, will Fiji bounce back from tropical cyclone Winston? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us by Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Bye for now.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tavua, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asunu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.